Hello, classmates. Welcome to our classroom. In this lesson, we will learn the specification and marks of tires. One day, a customer drove a BYD model to the store and said he wanted to replace the tires. The customer asked for new tires with the same specification as the original tires. In this task, we'll learn about wheel tire specification and markings, and learn to distinguish between different tire specification and tire treads. 1. There are 3 learning objectives for this course, namely: understanding tire specification, understanding tire markings, learn to differentiate between tire treads. 2. We will learn today's content through the following 3 parts. Part 1. Understanding the specification of tires. The specification of the tire can be used to indicate the diameter of the outer tire with a capital D, the rim diameter with a lowercase d, the section width with a B, the section height with a H. The specification of low-pressure pneumatic tires of most countries is marked with the imperial system, and the way of marking is as shown in the figure. Among them, the air pressure marking symbol bar indicates low-pressure tires. For example, 9.20 to 20 tires indicate that the tire section width of 9 inches, rim diameter of 20 inches of low-pressure tires. In the case of a high-pressure tire, the X indicates a high-pressure tire, which would be 9.00乘20. And in the case of a radial tire, 9.00 or 20, with the letter R indicating a radial tire. 1. Specification for diagonal tires. Low-pressure tires are generally denoted by BD, where B is the tire section width and D is the tire diameter, both in inches. That indicates low-pressure tires. For example, tire size 9.00 to 20 means RIM diameter of 20 inches, tire section width of 9 inches of low-pressure tires. High-pressure tire specification are generally expressed as DXB. D is the tire diameter, B is the tire section width. The unit is inch. The X indicates a high-pressure tire, because the section width B is approximately equal to the ply section height H. So the installation of the outer rim should be selected diameter D equals D2B. Ultra-low pressure tires and low-pressure tires expressed the same way. 2. Radial tire specification. China's standards provide that in addition to the tire specification on both sides of the outer tire, there should also be manufacturing trademarks, ply, maximum load, the corresponding air pressure, number and balance marks. In order to facilitate the identification of the carcass cord material, the tire side is also marked with Hanyu pinyin letters, such as M for cotton cord, R for rayon cord, N for nylon cord, G for steel cord, and so on. These letters are generally written in the back of the specification size. Some tire side is also marked with the applicable rim specification. Some off-road tires will also use arrows to indicate the direction of rolling. Let's take another look at the 2 tire speed level chart through the pictures. And 3. Automobile tire load table. Part 2. Understanding tire markings. The production date of tires is very critical for tires, because tires are rubber products. If the time exceeds a certain number of years, they cannot be used again. We can find the date of manufacture on the sidewall of the tire. As shown in the picture, the corresponding symbols are as follows. Dot indicates that the tire meets the approval of the U.S. Department of Transportation. OCWC indicates that the tire's origin information. O5BX represents the factory card. 3513 indicates that the tire's production date is the 35th week of 2013. Radial tires are generally marked with the letter R, such as 225/65 are 1710 to H, that is expressed as indicates tire width 225 mm, indicates a flatness ratio of 65%, Flatness ratio is the ratio of tire height H to width B. Indicates radial tires. Indicates a tire with an inside diameter of 17 inches. Indicates load class, i.e. maximum load mass. Indicates the speed rating, which indicates the maximum speed at which the tire can be driven. To make it easier to observe tire wear, as shown in the figure, the tire manufacturer makes tire wear indicator marks in the tire tread grooves. And when the tire is worn to the point where it is flush with the tire wear indicator marks, the tire must be replaced or danger may occur. Part 3. Learn to distinguish tire patterns. 1. Plain pattern. Regular tread tires are suitable for use on hard surfaces. They are also categorized as longitudinal, transverse and both longitudinal and transverse treads. Vertical pattern. The common feature of transverse tread is that the tread is continuous in the transverse direction and disconnected in the longitudinal direction. Thus the longitudinal stiffness of the tread is large, while the transverse stiffness is small, and the tire skid resistance is strong in the transverse direction and weak in the longitudinal direction. This pattern tire rolling resistance is small, good heat dissipation performance, but the pattern grooves are easy to embed gravel. Taken together, this form of tread is suitable for driving on relatively clean and good hard surfaces. For example, cars, light and minivans, etc. choose this pattern of tires. The common feature of transverse tread is that the tread is continuous in the transverse direction and disconnected in the longitudinal direction. Thus the transverse stiffness of the tread is large, while the longitudinal stiffness is small. Therefore, the tire skid resistance presents a strong longitudinal and cross-wake. The car to a higher speed steering, easy to side slip. Tire rolling resistance is also relatively large. Tread wear is more serious. This form of tread is suitable for use in general hard road surface. Traction is relatively large, medium-sized or heavy trucks. Both vertical and horizontal patterns. This pattern is between the longitudinal pattern and the transverse pattern. In the middle of the tread, there is generally a zigzag longitudinal pattern, while on the sides near the shoulders, there is a transverse pattern. In this way, the tread has a better longitudinal and transverse skid resistance. Therefore, tires with this form of tread have a high adaptability and a wide range of applications. They are suitable for different hard surfaces as well as for cars and trucks. Off-road pattern. Off-road treaded tires are characterized by wide and deep tread grooves, and a relatively small grounding area at the tread blocks, about 40% to 60%. When driving on sharp surfaces, a portion of the soil will be embedded in the tread grooves, thus improving grip. According to the test in the mud road, the same model of vehicle using off-road tread tires can be up to 1.5 times the traction of ordinary tread. Off-road tread tires are suitable for use on rough roads, loose dirt roads and roadless areas. Due to the high contact pressure of the tread pattern and high rolling resistance, they are not suitable for driving on good hard surfaces for a long time. Otherwise, it will aggravate tire wear, increase fuel consumption, and aggravate the vibration of the car when driving. Mixed patterns. Mixed pattern is a transitional pattern between normal pattern and off-road pattern. It is characterized by narrow tread grooves in the middle of the tread with different directions, or mainly in the longitudinal direction, and wide tread grooves with different directions or mainly in the transverse direction on both sides. Such a pattern collocation makes the mixed pattern tire with good comprehensive performance and strong adaptability. It is adapted to both good hard road surface, also adapted to gravel road surface, slush road surface and soft road surface. Good road surface adhesion performance. In this course, we will start by understanding the specification of tires, understand the markings of tires, learn to distinguish tire patterns in 3 aspects, and study the specification and markings of car tires. I believe you already have a basic understanding of new energy vehicle tires. I hope you can review more, simultaneously utilizing online and other means for self-directed learning to deepen impressions and apply the knowledge learned to practical life.